Okay, this is my MacBook I purchased off eBay. This is actually the second one. The first one I got as a Christmas gift, which is in my cabinet. This is not a mid-2007 MacBook. This is about a mid-2009. It looks identical. Let me go grab my other one and I'll show you what I mean. Ah, damn it. Oh, no, wait, no. I'm back here. Nope, don't take everything out. I've actually had two mid-2007s. Oh, the other one's in shambles. The other one was in bad condition, so I took it apart and broke a couple of things. Ever since then, I haven't bothered to fix it. This is my mid-2007 MacBook. It's pretty much one-on-one identical, except this one's a bit different in color. But they're identically the same MacBook. The same exact, it has the FireWire, everything else is identical. I have a nice mark in mine for some weird reason. Both my batteries do not work, unfortunately. The last video I uploaded on this, the battery still worked. Unfortunately, I left it dead for about 2 days. The LEDs on the battery went out, and it never took a charge again. Ever since then, it's been tethered to my cord. Anyway, that MacBook is serving me well. But this one I picked up because I wanted to be able to run Mountain Lion, which I have now suppressed that entirely. The original specs on this was 2 gigs of RAM with a 160 gig hard drive. That is now completely different. It is now 8 gigs of RAM and a 480 gig SSD. Dual booted. So, yeah, this machine officially can only support up to, I think, 4 from Apple, but I only had 2 4 modules. Two 4 gig sticks. So I put them in and somehow it magically worked. You can see just how fast, when I turn this thing on, how fast it boots. Oh, it went into resume mode. It's going to probably fail to resume. Yeah, failed. I put it to sleep and I tripped on the cord. So yeah, it does take forever on macOS to sleep, and I tripped on the cord while it was still trying to sleep and it failed. Anyway, it'll boot up normally. But you can see how fast it really is when it boots. I'm trying to adjust this camera. Let me turn these off. Maybe that'll help with the brightness issue. Now, if anybody noticed faint pinstriping, that is just something with the display and not the computer. Because at some weird angles, I noticed pinstriping across the entire display. It's almost like the tiger pinstripes on the menu bar, or tiger, Panther and older had pinstripes on the menu bar, but it's the entire display. It's very odd, and it affects the entire thing. Like if you look at it from an angle below the display, you'll notice it. But you can see how fast this thing boots up. I'm not even connected to our Wi-Fi. Oops. See if it automatically connects. It should. I do have Adobe Photoshop on here. It's probably expired now too. Or it's not going to see any network at all. I'm not really amused. So I'm having issues trying to connect lately. But I do have a lot of apps on here. This machine is blazingly fast. Oop, nope. So see our Wi-Fi's not connected. There it goes, 5G. You can see this thing sees Wi-Fi's down the street. I'm not sure why MacBooks tend to do that, but they see every network possible. I have all my Macs defaulted into guest just for security reasons, and just in case I left anything open on my computer. But I mean, watch, I'm going to open up, say, let me see, what's a heavy application? I know that is heavy. Let me try, like, Adobe Illustrator or something. Has to do the Adobe license agreement, that's fine. Now requires sign in. And we'll just Command Q. Yep. And then I'll try Photoshop. If it requires sign in again, I'm going to be a little annoyed. Yep, there it goes. Agreement, yep. Off it goes. Look at this, how fast it is. And it's done, essentially. So that's pretty quick. Let me do a Command Q. Opening up something like Safari is instant. Thank you. Opening anything is really quick. The only downside is this is not a multi-touch trackpad. It is 2-finger compatible, you know, that swipes. But yeah, it's basically the exact same machine, but this one has the cracks around the edges, which is infamous. This is the model my mom actually had for her school. This is the one she had on loan, the one that had the battery issues and the backlight issues. Not the mid-2007, which I thought it was. This one also doesn't have the bad palm rest, like my old one here with the chipped palm rest. This one has a different top case for some weird reason, because the power button, it has like a different texture. It's more rough than this, and it doesn't get dirty as quickly. This one's more creaky though. You can also notice if I touch on the display, if you notice all the weird things, this is a different display. And the Apple logo on the back is not yellowed. The speakers on it are not blown. The other mid-2007 one I had blown bass speaker. It was all, the foam was gone. Mainly I just use this thing as my secondary / primary MacBook. My other one is the late 2008. Oh, and yeah, but it's also something funny. Is World of Warcraft or Battle.net does not support this machine anymore, period. But if you boot into Windows 10, it runs fine. Oh, and here's the kicker. This is technically a 64-bit machine, or a 64-bit EFI, or whatever it is. You can see how fast this thing shuts down, too. It's almost instant. And it should be out for about, you know. Turn it back on. Let me hold down my Option key. I gotta turn the volume down just a touch. Wait a minute. I do have Windows on here. Now, it's not the maximum Windows that the machine originally supported, which Windows says only runs Windows 7. Nope. I took it way above and beyond that. It is running Windows 10. And you can see how fast it boots. It does boot almost immediately. Oh, look, it's done. Just about. I usually wait about 4 or 5 minutes before I log in, because Windows 10 has this weird quirk where if you shut it down instead of logging out first, it'll load crap in the background while it's starting up. So then when you log in, everything's already going. So I'm going to go ahead and take this in my lap real quick so nobody else knows my password. The other problem is when I try to log in too fast is it takes a few minutes for the login display to show up. That's why I usually wait the 5 minutes, because it takes a few minutes. See, then the clock reappeared again. I have to wait for all the calendar events and whatnot to show up. So I'm going to give it a few minutes. See, already some more stuff showed up. I keep moving this damn camera up. There it goes. Oh, it's my dad's birthday today. Oh, lovely. Okay, maybe it's ready for me to log in now. Without accidentally unplugging the machine, which I've done countless times. Nope. There it goes. Log in. See, Steam's already running in the background. You can see that's what I said about it. Oh, there's some weird reason with the trackpad not working again. Probably need to reinstall the driver for it. Which I deleted the drivers, which means I need... Yeah, this happened a couple days ago where the trackpad no longer works. Keyboard, I don't even think works either, does it? Nope, I have no keyboard or mouse. Oh, there it goes. So I probably just need to reinstall the trackpad driver, which probably isn't that difficult. Let me just grab my mouse here. I do have uTorrent installed. Plug back in a mouse. Mouse is working fine now. So in the meantime, I'll just have to kind of deal with this. It is a little bit slow because I have a ton of crap installed, which is fine. No, for God's sakes. still loading all my crap up in the background. Trying to load up Origin, Spotify. Once it's running, once Windows is running, it runs fine. Just have to give it some time. Let me deal with this real quick. Let me grab my Snow Leopard disk. Pop that in and reinstall the mouse driver. Since that obviously has disappeared. And this isn't just Windows 10 32. This is 64-bit Windows 10, utilizing all 8 gigs of RAM. 32 gig Windows only maxes out at 2. So this thing is taking all 8 gigs of RAM and utilizing it. So sometimes it feels a bit unstable, probably because the motherboard isn't supposed to have 8 gigs, but it runs. Windows is booted, it's running, it's doing everything it can. Now, when people say MacBook, I think of this machine or the other one. I don't think of the MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro Retina or the new one or that one. I think of the original title of MacBook, the original design, which Apple should definitely bring back. Because I liked it. Even though it cracks, they should really figure out how to fix that without changing the design and bring the white MacBook back. And design it so the palm rests have the original texture without getting dirty. So let me go to my PC here. Let me go to the disk. It should show up. There it goes, Windows support. Oh, it's going to try and autoplay. It's going to fail because the Boot Camp drivers are only 32-bit Windows 7 compatible, so if I try to run it at anything higher, it just fails. Oh, my hard drive. My drive is full. I almost said hard drive. It's not a physical moving disk. It's a solid-state medium. So I have to right-click and say no. Say open. Boot Camp drivers. Should be 64-bit Apple times 64. Let's just do the trackpad installer. Let me run this. That should fix my endeavors of my trackpad. The sound works. None of the function keys work because I can't get Boot Camp installed directly. I have to install the drivers manually. Don't want to back up. Yeah, the only problem with running all this crap at the same time is it slows down the machine quite drastically. Do not back up. Once the machine gets running, though, it's done. Oh, look, it's installing Origin. Accept, next. That's very, very odd. Let me go to settings here. This thing will run when to Skyrim. It's got 256 megs of video memory with the NVIDIA 6100M. Or was it 9? No, it was 9100M. Whatever it is, it's got 256 megs of VRAM, so it's got plenty of video memory. It will run World of Warcraft on a video setting of 3. You can get high graphics out of it if you tweak the settings. You usually have to do that with every machine, so let me figure out what's going on here. Why no trackpad? I don't really mess with it. I like the old Windows control panel. This is just a disaster. Additional mouse options. Let me unplug one and see if it takes both out. It's not actually working quite correctly. This is Microsoft. You guys migrated. 1050. Let me try the multi-touch. Something threw something off and it's not working correctly. You can see it's getting a little bit faster now that Windows is up and running. The fan will run at maximum speed most of the time. That is normal. It tends to, because it's 64-bit, so it's utilizing the full performance of the processor. Still have no trackpad though. Let me try keyboard installer. If anyone knows how to fix this before I probably just reinstall Windows 10, let me know. Because for the life of me, and yes, you're probably going to just tell me to put back Windows 7 32-bit, but I like to run the maximum because Windows 10 is going to die here in less than a year and a half. Yeah, still not that well. No big deal. I'll figure this out later. I don't want Origin going. I don't want Spotify going right now. Need to do is eject the disk now. Let's see, eject. Yeah, the upside is there's an optical drive in this machine. Unlike my late 2008, no optical drive. Another video for another day, or I can record it in about 20 minutes. Our new internet has a really fast upload speed, so it makes uploading stuff so much faster. Yeah, Avast, whatever. Apple software update. Install one item, accept. Yes. 2 links to The Sims 4, that's normal, because I have, yeah, I got it from, not encouraging this, but no, Steam. We already paid for The Sims 4, but we lost the Origin account, and we cannot recover it, because we do not have that email to it anymore. So, yeah, we have to rebuy The Sims 4. And we're like, no. I'm like, you know what? The only reason I torrent or pirate stuff is because I don't want to deal with the constant internet connect. It's like, The Sims 2, we already had all the discs. We already paid for all of it. The only reason I pirated it is because half of our discs died. They were either gouged or they started to disk rot because they were stored improperly. So they no longer works. Like the Sims 2, like the 3rd or 4th expansion in, it couldn't install. It would fail. So, and I go, I'm not skipping expansions because that's just not good. Can I dismiss those? Don't care about mail. The Elder Scrolls I did torrent. I actually now own a legit copy of Morrowind and Oblivion. So those are on Steam sale. I paid for those. I'm thinking about maybe torrenting The Sims 3. I already own pretty much all the expansions, but my sister keeps taking my Steam account, and I have to keep changing my password, which is getting very annoying. Like, yes, I already paid for all the stuff. I usually keep stuff for about 3 months. After that, it's like a 3-month trial, and I go, if I really like it, I should pay for it. But yeah, The Sims 4 we already own. Just can't play it anymore, so it's a dud. We've already used the key, and I can't register to an Origin account, which is dumb. It's like you pay $20 for a game, and if you lose the account, you're screwed. We don't have the email to it. We don't have the old email. Don't really care about recovering anymore. I played the game once when it first came out, and I saw the whole user interface, and I go, I ain't playing this. And I just got back into it about 4 years later. I was so turned off by The Sims 4's weird design. I'm like, I started watching YouTube videos of people playing it and making, like, other videos, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play it now. Install iCloud here. Battle.net, I got uTorrent, I have my printers, I have Twitch. I think I installed Skyrim on here, I think. Yeah, Skyrim will run. Oblivion has this weird light bug I'll have to show you. I'm not sure if that's with the MacBook or my video driver. My video driver is already up to date. Now, just like my netbook, I also cannot control the brightness unless I use the original driver provided with Apple. The availability to adjust the brightness on the display is no longer no longer has functionality. So there's that. I do like Control-Alt-Delete actually does something like backspace delete is delete as well, which is nice. Ooh, it's actually kind of warm right here. Yeah, I like the iconic design of the white MacBook. And I do have a FireWire cable, so now I can tether these machines. I need to clean up my drive. So yeah, this one feels quite heavy. And for some weird reason, with the late or mid 2009 MacBook, the battery didn't work. In fact, when I got it, it didn't have a battery. I had another one from another mid 2007 MacBook, the one I kind of trashed, and I put it in here. And every time I turn it on, it would blink the light and take forever to boot. So what I did was I took white masking tape and I just covered the contacts and shoved the battery back in there. I'm like, I taped it on there. It's like electrical tape, so it's thick, and I'm like, get in there. So the battery is still, it's like a ballast. So it just adds some weight to the machine. But you notice when I turned it on, the light did not flash, which means essentially it sees no battery. Unlike my mid 2007, it doesn't do that. It just boots, which is much better. I have to restart. Okay, fine. Yeah, restart, whatever. Downside to restarting is I always have to remember to hold down Option. If not, it goes back into Mac OS X. I'm like... Now, I have learned with this machine, and I've already done it with my late 2008, is there's patches to install Sierra and High Sierra on here. Hold down Option. The only problem is the trackpad only picks up as a USB touchpad and doesn't do multi-touch, which is the only thing that doesn't work correctly. I'm going to want water at some point. So let me go to Windows again. It's kind of weird how laptops these days look about the same thickness. I mean, they're a bit thinner, but they still... Most of them are about the same thickness as this, give or take. I mean, it doesn't feel that thick. I mean, I'm using a Toshiba. A netbook is thicker than it. How much battery do I have left? I have 95 minutes left. But yeah, there's that. The machine immediately goes to sleep on Windows 10. That's a bonus. Do I have touchpad now? Oh, there we go. So yeah, restart fixed that. Okay. So yeah, now I have touchpad. Okay, there is multi-touch, just not multi-scroll. So I can do 2 fingers and click, and it'll contextual menu will pop up. Since I did a restart, I actually have to log in because none of the crap starts up. Yeah, a full Windows restart doesn't load up all the extensions. It just loads Windows. That's the only downside. Also fixes most issues, is do a full restart. Excuse me. Oy. Now if only I can get a display adapter for this. And for my other MacBook, that'd be nice. You can see how much longer it takes to log in because it actually has to load stuff up. But yeah, mainly I've been using Windows on this a little bit more than Mac OS. To say the truth. Oh and yeah, if you ever open these, do not open the display. Do not take the bezel off because you will never, for the life of me, get it back on. I took the bezel off the other one and I could not get it back on. I broke all the clips. So now I've got a parts machine. And now the machine shows a weird lock icon when I turn it on, and it just fails to do anything, so I presume I broke some, so I'm not all that amused. Double touchpad, right? You can see it's much faster after a full reboot. Premium extra, whatever. Yeah, this is my mid-2009 MacBook with literally 8 gigs of RAM. I'll have to show you here in a second if I can get this shut down. It's busy. Give it a minute. When I'm impatient, I just unplug computers. I go, who cares? Even though I'm very sensitive about doing that, I just do not have time. Unplug. Oh, time and date change. It's 9:34 a.m. now. Hold on. Wait, where's my phone? What time is it really? It's 10:36, so I'm a little bit off. Almost 30 minutes in already. Wow. Hope this uploads quickly. I hope. One thing I hate about Windows 10 is if it's really busy and you try to shut it down, whatever gets stuck cancels your shutdown. So sometimes I'll go out to eat or something and I shut down my computer and I come back and it's still on. I'm like, God damn it, I told it to shut down. I'm just like, I wish Windows had this option where you could say override and it waits until everything closes and shuts down. It'll just sit there waiting instead of actually canceling it. See what I mean? It canceled again. Because it's busy. Now, if anyone says about putting Linux on this, I'm not a big Linux fan. I do use Linux once in a blue moon, but most of the time I'm a Windows and Mac user. I'm like, once in a blue moon, I will use Linux if I just need an OS and I don't feel like bothering with Windows and drivers and stuff. I will just throw Linux on it. The problem with Linux is none of my programs work. And before you say anything about Wine, I've tried it before and some stuff I try to run games and stuff like that, like Battle.net through Wine, and it doesn't quite work. So that's off. But yeah, this one doesn't have the yellowed Apple logo. It also is using the exact same bottom pan from the 2007, because it says copyright 2007 Apple Incorporated. So it is using the exact same bottom pan as the 2007, which is kind of funny. Anyway, that concludes this video for now.